Welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you're here. Had a little faux pas there for a second. Hey, tonight I'm trying something new. If you've been here in the past, new time, new day, and I just want to see what's going on with folks on a Thursday evening. This is a pretty special live stream, so I'm especially glad you're here. So stick around for some real fun. Well, here we are. I can't tell if you guys could hear me when I did that intro or not. I hope you could. I'm kind of a little discombobulated here. Let me check the comments momentarily here and see what's going on. I see some folks joining the chat already. So tell me this. Can you hear me? Is everything okay? I see some folks. Oh, there we go. I checked my own audio. That's working pretty well. I got a message on this screen saying that some comments can't post some comments, so I'm not sure. Hopefully you'll see some of my comments. There we go. 60 Ranch, Chesapeake Bay Cruiser, Emery Thompson, Mikey 0011. Nice. You guys were on early, Josh. Good to see you. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, I have some people in the green room, and I'm going to bring them on, and we're going to meet them tonight. We're going to talk about our experience with some tractors and implements and anything that you might have questions about. So this will be a fun time for you to ask questions of different YouTubers that have agreed to join tonight. Some I didn't even know were going to come on. I opened it up to a few people in a group that I'm in, so it's just a fun surprise to see who comes on. Let me go through my list here for my morning announcements. Of course, as I've mentioned before, you can find the channel on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, any of those platforms. Just search at My Cluttered Garage and you'll find me there. If you are enjoying the show tonight at any point, when you click that thumbs up, it helps me out, helps the channel. So thumbs up would be great. And participate in the live chat. It's always a good time. So why am I trying a Thursday night? Mondays, although we've had, I think, a really good turnout. I've been really happy with the turnout on a Monday night. Been doing a little bit of YouTube research and finding that Mondays may not be the best night for that. I like it because it's a great way to start off the week. And somebody had mentioned that it's a way that gives them something to look forward to instead of the dreaded Monday blues. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, not sure that this will continue through the summer. I've got March booked out with guests, so we're good through March. But then as the warmer weather comes, we'll see. There's no rules here. You know, we can do this anytime we want. So that's why we're trying Thursday night. I also have a guest coming up. I don't know if it's next Thursday or the following, but I have another Thursday date booked, and that's pretty exciting. I'm going to talk to you about that here in just a little bit. Before I bring my guests on, they're being so patient in the background. I can see them, but they can't see me. But they can hear me. I want to talk about some March 11th fun facts, because today is March 11th, and you know I love to look at the fun facts and share some interesting things with you that you may not otherwise know. I'll go through this list very quickly. Today, March 11th, is Debunking Day. That's right, Debunking Day. And if you don't believe that, I guess you can prove it wrong on Debunking Day. I don't believe that. Dream Day. I don't know what that is, but I can imagine it's a day to daydream. Johnny Appleseed Day. If you're in the South, in Florida, it's Key Deer Awareness Day. Apparently that's a very small deer. I think it's bigger than this. It's a small deer that lives in the Florida Keys, and is it endangered? I'm not sure. I'm only reading the little note that says it's Key Deer Awareness Day. So be aware of those little key deer. It's Name Tag Day. I should have had a name tag on. I apologize for that. My name's Ed, if you didn't know that already. But today is National Name Tag Day. I didn't see anybody wearing name tags today when I was out and about a little bit. I won't go through this whole list, I promise you. Popcorn Lovers Day. My wife loves popcorn. I mean, I like it. Yeah, that's the thing about popcorn. I never, ever, ever long for popcorn. I never have an urge. I never think, you know what, I want some popcorn. I would probably never, ever eat popcorn again if it wasn't placed in front of me. But if you place it in front of me, I'll eat it, and I'll eat a lot of it. Anybody else feel that way? And it's World Plumbing Day. I should have done some plumbing today. Maybe some of you folks did some plumbing today. Enough with that. Wait a minute. There was one I wanted to tell you about. Oh, yeah. It's National Worship of Tools Day. This is a real thing. National Worship of Tools Day. It's a day to go out into the garage, into the tool shed, into the storage closet, or wherever it is that you keep your tools. You can clean them, you can reorganize them, you can make something new with them, or maybe you can go to the store and buy a new tool. But if you don't worship your tools every day, today, March 11th, is the day dedicated to worshiping your tools. I don't know who thinks of this stuff, but it's true because I saw it on the internet. If not, you can debunk me on National Debunking Day. So those are your March 11th fun facts. Do what you will with them. I did mention in my previous stream that I did create a little bit of a merch store. If you go to shopmcg.com, you can buy things like this cool mug or these cool stickers. There's t-shirts. Everything tastes better in that mug. I don't want to push that too much, but if you're interested, you can go there. Okay, and before I bring on my guests, plural guests tonight, I do want to show you that we have some upcoming guests, and we'll jump into the comments a bit too, so I apologize if I'm missing some of those comments. But upcoming guests, this is very exciting. Why is it not going? Interesting. Technical difficulties are happening right here. I don't know why that is. Well, I'm going to have to read them to you then. Bear with me. While we're bringing that up, I will look at the comments and see here. I'll look at my calendar. Where are we? K&H Tractors is eating popcorn right now. Well, today's your day, my friend. Linda, you saw the deer in Key West. They are smaller. That's true. So you can read up about, they're actually called key deer. So M+J recommends live streaming once a month. I was thinking of that come summertime, maybe once a month. Margaret likes Mondays. Flat Creek, good to see you, Phil. Phil was my guest on Monday. We had a good time. You can go back and rewatch that if you haven't seen, or if you haven't seen it, you can watch it. If you did see it, you can rewatch it. Why are these things not coming up? I might need Phil's help. Hold on now. You know why? Because I added the file in the wrong place. I put it in the backgrounds instead of the video clips. So it actually is on the screen, but it's behind me. I wonder if I can jump off and if you can still hear me. Let's see. Could you hear me when I was when I had that on screen? No. That is not a technical difficulty. That was my fault. So, at any rate, let me pull that up. I'm starting to feel a little pressure here. I'm going to stop feeling this pressure. You know what I shouldn't have done? I shouldn't have closed the file. It's all right. So listen, calendar up. Next Monday, the 15th. I have so many screens open. The 15th of March at 7 p.m., we've got Hank from Hamiltonville Farm who's going to be joining us on the live stream. You won't want to miss that. I'm really excited and very thankful that Hank is joining us. So that's Monday, the 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Then on Monday, March 22nd, Neil Messick is going to be joining us. And I've shared before that when I bought my Kubota B2601, I watched every video that Neil made about Kubotas and especially compact tractors. That's going to be fun to have Neil on here. It's probably going to be a little bit later because he's got he's a family guy. It was tough to get him to come on a Monday night, but he's going to come on. It might run later than usual. He may come on closer to 8 o'clock, so you'll have to listen to me ramble. I'll have to come up with a lot of fun facts on that night. Then in that same week, on Thursday, March 25th, this is very exciting, Josh from the Stony Ridge Farmer is going to be joining us here on March 25th, but that's going to be at 8 o'clock, so Thursday at 8 o'clock. I'll somehow post this. It'll be on my Facebook page, all these different lineups, but basically every Monday through March, and then that one Thursday, the 25th, with Josh from the Stony Ridge Farmer channel. Very exciting. And then the final Monday in March, March 29th, we've got Mike from AskTractorMike.com. That's going to be great, too, because Mike has a wealth of knowledge. You'll be able to post your questions to Mike. I apologize about that screen thing. But let's carry on. Emery Thompson, new subscriber. Thank you. Thank you. Flat Creek enjoyed not hearing me. Put the blank screen back up. Thanks, Phil. It's much better when you're not talking. Let's see. So, all right. Let's bring on some folks. I've got some fun guests here. My first guest is a repeat guest, and I'm going to bring all these guys on at the same time. Repeat guest, my very first live stream guest. Who can tell me who my first live stream guest was? Can you type that in the comments before I hit this button? Can you do it? I'm getting ready to hit the button. Can anybody say who my first guest was? I don't see it yet. Anyway, here he comes. It's John Ritter.
Hey there, Ed.
John Ritter is back. Thank you, John, for joining us.
Yeah, M plus J. They might have go. Darren had it maybe just
Darren
in
had
time. Oh, waited though. Chess Bay Cruiser.
I said Ritter, yeah.
Before that though.
60 Ranch.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness.
They came in a little bit late. You guys got it.
Yeah, maybe there was a delay.
So John was our first guest. We had a great time with John, and he spontaneously decided to jump on here tonight and support this little free-for-all tractor chat.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I had to look up a picture of key deer. Can you look at how tiny those little guys are?
Little, right?
Isn't that crazy?
It looks photoshopped. He's got like the full set of antlers. Thanks for doing that. That's exciting.
I know. I was interested.
That is so much easier than me trying to share my screen. Like
I thought it'd help
John,
you out.
hold up a picture.
Yeah, here we go again, guys. Oh, I just got to line it up. That's small.
Little deer. Yeah, we have pretty big deer here. And I imagine out where you are, you've got very big deer.
Yeah, they all hide though. They all hide during deer season.
Nice. I'm going to bring on another guest, John. We can all talk a little bit if you're good.
Bring him in.
Everything good out there where you are?
Oh yeah, it's all good.
Did it warm up to 0 yet?
Uh, we had 60 degrees a couple days ago, and then we woke up to half an inch of snow this morning, and then it hit like 45 degrees this afternoon.
Nice.
It's weird weather.
Well, I don't want to brag, but we were at 72 today.
Ooh, nice.
It was very nice. Hey, I'm going to bring in our next guest here to join us, Garrett from O&D Life. Hey, Garrett.
Hey, welcome. Hey,
Thanks
John.
for being here.
Hey, Garrett. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Garrett, your channel is called O&D Life. Why don't you tell the fine viewers what O&D stands for? I know what it stands for.
Orange and Dirty. So
Orange and Dirty.
It is a play off of a Weird Al Yankovic song, White and Nerdy, where he's on his zero turn mowing. And my daughter showed it to me, and it just seemed like me. White and nerdy and orange and dirty.
That's awesome. Well, so we've got three orange guys here. We're all in the Kubota family. I've got a couple more folks. I'm going to bring everybody on that I have. I've got 4 of you total at this point. If somebody else jumps on, we'll see what happens there.
All right.
And our friend Chad from Purple Collar Life. How's it going, Chad?
Good. How is everybody?
Excellent.
Doing good, Chad. Good to see you.
Good.
Chad is not in the orange family, as I recall.
That's right. I'm in the green family.
We see we're all about diversity here. So we appreciate that. They're all good. And Chad, how are things out in your neck of the woods?
Good. We had the 60-degree weather that John sent us a few days ago, and we're hoping he doesn't send that snow to us.
I don't know if it's coming your way or not. I hope you dodge it.
Nice. Now, you guys, if you're comfortable sharing where you're from, I mean, not specifically, but what state you're in or what area you're in, Chad, you're, well, you tell me.
We're in northwest Pennsylvania, south of Lake Erie.
There you go. Northwest. And Garrett, I have no idea where your channel's located.
Central Alabama.
Central Alabama.
Yes.
Very nice. So that's does not get any of the weather that we're talking about with the winter, right? Is that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
When's the last time you plowed snow, Garrett?
Plowed snow? Never.
I would be
maybe
happy
when I
to
lived in
snow.
Missouri. I lived in southern Missouri back in high school days, and I might have done it once.
Missing out on so much fun. And as you know, I'm central Minnesota here, so we have lots of crazy weather.
So we got one more person here, and let me bring in Tony Man from Tony's Tractor Adventure.
Tony.
Thank you for being here.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hey, Tony.
Good, Tony. Good to see you.
This is great. This is the most people I've ever had on screen at the same time. As I say, simultaneously at the same time. Let me change my background. So there's that background with all the guests because I put it in the wrong place.
That's funny. I see it now. Yep.
Let's go with something nicer there, a little more neutral.
There you go.
And Tony, sir, we were sharing. By the way, I'm in New Jersey, which a lot of people don't know, or they're probably surprised when they see some of the scenery in my videos because we're in a very rural part of southern New Jersey, and not what people think about when they think about New Jersey. It's really beautiful here. But Tony, are you? I don't know if you've shared where you're from on your channel.
Tennessee. That's the Tennessee accent.
Tennessee.
Garrett can probably understand me.
That's right.
Alabama and Tennessee speak the same language, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have family in central Tennessee, and I'm really hoping to get back there sometime soon because I love it.
Beautiful area. Beautiful.
It really is. It really is. And we did some camping at the Great Smoky Mountains. We went to our family's wedding out there, and then on the way home, we hit the Great Smoky Mountains. What a beautiful trip that was.
Yeah, we try to go to the Smoky Mountains at least once a year with our travel trailer. It's good times.
Excellent. And Tony, your channel, the rest of us kind of have specifics with the tractors that we use and whatnot. I think you got a pretty diverse channel going there with different things happening. Like what are some of your some of your projects you've been working on?
Well, I mean, primarily we start out with tractors, and then we're basically taking our channel in a different direction, more of a kind of a follow us along our life as we go develop our farm, and we're going to use the sawmill. I bought an old, like a 50-year-old truck with a crane and got it running, and you know, I'm putting it on the channel, and we're just going to use it. So basically, we're just taking you along for the ride. So it's real life, I guess.
So kind of a blog or vlog type.
Yeah,
type
I think that's what we're going. Before I started out kind of doing like educational tractor videos, and then it's just kind of, you know, evolved into this.
That's great.
Unscripted reality TV, right?
That's it, right? Yes, real life, you know.
People
With
like
commercial,
reality
you can
TV.
skip if you want.
I have to say, I love your on your channel. I love your. I guess that's the cover photo on the top with that old Chevy truck.
Yeah, that's
like a flatbed or.
Yeah, it's an old crane truck, and you said Hank's coming on your channel next week, and Hank is the one who named the truck. It's Ichabod Crane Truck.
That's awesome.
Ichabod crane truck.
I just love that shot. It's like an action shot. It looks like something from an old movie. It's just there's something about that picture that just tells a story.
I get lucky every now and then.
Yeah, get a good shot once in a while.
Actually, Tanya does all the pictures. There you go, John. Thank you.
Look at John.
You bet. You bet.
That's just about the time that the old brake booster flew off the truck as I was driving by.
Oh, nice. That's why it's an action shot.
Yeah.
John,
I remember that video.
John, I need to
and then slam on the brakes, see if they work.
John, I need to know if I can hire you as a producer.
I'll help you out.
Screenshots.
Sure.
I can talk about things. John can bring it up on screen.
Yeah,
it's a lot to be doing
there
all
you
this
go.
stuff. There it is. That's awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you to all four of you for being here. This is really a lot of fun. We've got 40-some people online right now, it looks like. We've got people on Facebook, people on YouTube, and Emery Thompson said this is like a room of geniuses. How about that?
Man, is he watching a different channel?
There's four of them there. I know what I'm. That's fun. You know, I don't know much, so I try to cover it with being entertaining when I can. You know. Anytime you hear Ed say something funny, it's like, well, that's because he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's covering it with something else. So anyway, I'm looking at the comments here, and you guys should be able to see these comments as well.
Sure.
So if there's anything that you see that you want to pick out and talk about, I can put comments on the screen, like this one, of course. That's a great comment.
Pointing out RCA Polar Express. He watches our channel a lot, and I was going to name the truck what he said, Mad Max, and then Hank he said it, the old Ichabod Crane. It just hit perfect, and I went with that. But Mad Max was number 2.
Nice. Does he have that on screen here?
Yeah.
Did he? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Mad Max truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave from RCAF Polar Express. I think he watches all our channels. He's got a channel himself.
He does.
With a Mahindra tractor. I certainly don't know the model. I think they call him an Emax or something, right?
He's got an Emax, and he's got a little John Deere too, as well. Smaller garden tractor. He pushes snow with that once in a while. But he's one of the ultimate subscribers. Dave is fantastic. He
is awesome.
He's been watching me and commenting on every single video. So Dave, we love you. I mean, we really do. You're the best.
Absolutely. So thank you, Dave. And for the folks that are watching us, as I've said in other live streams, check out these live comments. A lot of these folks in the comments have their own channels. So go check them out. If you like their content, subscribe. Go check out RCAF Polar Express. Dave always has a neat little project on it, so check him out and subscribe if you can. I see Who's Your Helpers. I was introduced to that channel through John when they came on when John was a guest.
Oh, you checked them out. Good. And K&H Tractors is here as well.
K&H, there we go.
Ben.
K&H giving a shout out to RCAF. So
he's a fellow teacher. Ben is at K&H Tractors. So he's an industrial arts teacher. He teaches some welding classes, and he does a few projects at his house and then at school too. It gets his students involved.
So if we do need a genius on this live stream, that'd be the person to call, right? Excellent.
Not me.
And Flat Creek also giving a shout out to RCAF. And Phil. See, Phil, I put your comment on the screen, even though you insulted me and said you liked it better when I wasn't talking. So
I saw that Emery said that he subscribed to you, Ed, and he's a great follower. Also, he always leaves really good comments that are after a video with questions and advice. So you'll like having him follow you.
Excellent. And Chad, since you're speaking to us now from your great channel as well, tell us about your machine and what you've been running. I'm trying to keep it all straight because I'm getting a little confused with different channels, but I did remember that yours was green.
So we have a John Deere 2210 with a front end loader. So that's about a 23 horsepower tractor. It's a 2004 model, and we bought it used. We've had it now for somewhere around 6 or 7 years and put probably close to 300 hours on it in that time. So we use it quite a bit. We have about 100 acres of family land here. Part of that's our property, a part of it's my parents' homestead, and it's just a great little workhorse. And this year we've really, there you go, John.
There you are.
This year we've really had some great adventures with it now that we have a grapple. I never would have imagined that I could get a grapple on that tractor, but thanks to the diverter kit, being able to add the grapple on the front's just been amazing. And it's so cool to see, I wouldn't have known that was possible till I saw like the grapple on John's tractor and the grapple on a couple other channels. And before that point, I always thought you had to have a brand new tractor or a bigger tractor to use a grapple. So it's nice to learn from the community here and see, there's so much more potential for these small tractors than what you think when you get them originally. And they can do a lot of work.
Absolutely.
I am a broken record here, but I always say that grapple is my favorite attachment. I mean, it's amazing. I use it so much, and it just adds so much diversity to your equipment, and it's just amazing. So John, you have a grapple.
I do. Yeah, I've had a grapple for a couple of years, and we got some land up north that I've been working on.
Thanks, Tony. The screen sharing too. Awesome.
I need to update that picture. That's my old BX25. That's an older picture, but I got to update that. But I've liked that picture, so I haven't changed it. I got a grapple. It's the Artelian system, so it's got the forks, the grapple, the stump bucket, and then I've got the front plow blade too. So it works with everything. Works really well. But
nice.
Having a grapple, it's like having a hand on the front of your tractor. Just pick whatever up and put it wherever you want without having to get off the tractor, hook up chains, hook up cables, mess with, ratchet straps. It's a fun little implement.
It's great. Although the video I put out about where I bent my tractor, that was, well, I can't say it was because of the grapple. It was because of me misusing the grapple. But it adds so much diversity to your tractor that you can, or so much functionality that you can actually damage your tractor if you're not careful, because you can pick something up that's a lot bigger than you should if you don't balance it when you pick it up. You can rack your loader. Mine was a series of unfortunate events where I tried to pick up this giant tree that I dropped. It was giant compared to the tractor, and the grapple wouldn't pick it straight up, but I found that if I curled it and then rolled it back, I could get the tree trunk off the ground just enough to move it. So I got it up just enough, and I went in reverse, and the left corner of the tree hit the tree stump, and just everything just racked. And as soon as I dropped the tree, I noticed that the grapple was like this, and thought, that's not good. So
I think about that every time I'm moving a log. I remember back to your video of I bent my tractor. I'm like, I got to be really careful here.
It's true, be balanced and be careful. And it was a lesson learned. And luckily it was a brand new tractor. That sounds weird, but I had the K-Tech insurance that was still in place, and I was able to cover it with that. So that was a good thing. Got my money's worth out of that policy, although I don't like. It was kind of embarrassing, but I guess that's what it's there for.
Yeah, if you're going to run a tractor, you're going to do something eventually. So, I mean, don't beat yourself up too bad. We've all broke something.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
But I grew up with older tractors, and you just kind of push the limits of those and whatnot. So,
oh yeah,
Garrett, were you going to say something about a grapple there? Or do you?
Well, I was just going to say it's so easy to pick up a long log and then just catch it, clip it on another tree or something as you're trying to pull it out. So keeping it slow. That's the secret.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. We get comfortable and we start doing things. So awesome. Hey, so Tony, you've got a few different type of tractors on your channel.
Yeah, we've had about everything at one point or time. We went with TYM now. We have a T474, which is a 48 horsepower tractor with a backhoe, and then we have my little Rufus. I call him Rufus. He's a little 25 horsepower T264, and I've got third function and rear remotes on all of them, and grapple for both of them. And I gravitate towards the little tractor the most.
They're just really handy, aren't they?
Well, it's easy to get on and off, and get in and around things, and I don't know. It's just it fits a lot of our jobs really, really well.
Nice. Hey, I would just want to divert here a second and give a little shout out to AK Dad Stuff up there in Alaska.
Hey, Mike.
I know that it's not easy for Mike to jump on a Thursday night. Mondays work well for him, so we were chatting a little bit the other day, and I appreciate you jumping on here and saying hi. And whether you can stay or not, I'm not sure, but we're glad you're here.
Hi, Mike.
I pushed some snow a couple of weeks ago here, I guess maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was all proud. We only get it like maybe every 5 years we'll get some snow, and he kind of like, I'm pretty sure it was him that said that's not really snow.
It doesn't count.
But it shut everything down, didn't it, Tony?
It sure did. I mean, it shut us down.
just a snowdrift that probably blew in from Alaska.
That's right. That's exactly what it was.
My wife had lived in North Carolina before, years before we were married, and she said, that it would just like you'd have some flurries, and they're shutting schools down. Everything's like,
yeah. Well, it depends on the region.
Texas is the worst, though. I mean, they had a terrible time this year, and I don't mean to make light of that, but yeah. I was at Fort Hood, and I think in like 1995 or something, and it was a dusting. I mean, it literally was a dusting, and they shut the whole post down. I mean, we're like people of war here. They shut the post down. It's like, we're done. Go on.
Throw up the white flag.
Here in central Alabama, they about 5 years ago, they had an ice storm that came in, and it surprised everyone. It hit Atlanta. I mean, kids got stuck on at school. They had to stay a night or two at school.
Oh man!
And so now they're really edgy. As soon as there's the slightest chance of a flurry, they shut everything down.
Oh boy!
But having lived up north and down south and in the middle, and ice is different, and that's where we get hammered. I mean, I would 10 times rather go through 10 foot of snow versus 1 inch of ice.
I could agree with that for sure. That's rough. That's rough for sure. We haven't really had any giant storms for a while here. North Jersey got slammed pretty hard this year. Month ago or so, but the worst I remember was way back to 96. We had the blizzard of 96, and I actually was driving back. My wife and I were driving back from Florida to New Jersey, and we stopped along the way, and somebody said, "You're driving into a blizzard," and it was sunny and it was beautiful where we were, and we're like, that doesn't seem right. And we got up to Delaware, and we almost couldn't get home. We were like 30 minutes from home, and they were saying they're not going to let you cross that bridge. It was, so I drove over. I had an old Chevy Blazer, and we're like the only ones on the Delaware Memorial Bridge driving over in the blizzard of 96. So obviously we made it, but good memories anyway.
I spent some lovely time in your state, Ed.
Did you?
In 1986 at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got off a bus, and the guy was not very nice to me.
Really? That's hard to believe. I will say, I find that people in New Jersey are extremely nice, but I don't know.
He
Maybe
was
I
the
just
drill
meet the
sergeant.
right people. Oh, that I get you. He was not. Yeah, well, that's his job then, right?
Yeah, that was his job.
Wow. So, was that the beginning of your career, 86?
It was many years ago.
Yeah. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, what like, I don't know anything about your military history. Like, what branch were you in and what?
I spent almost 30 years in the Army. Been all over the world. Started out, I always been in maintenance. I started off as a mechanic, and then about halfway through my career, I became a warrant officer, which they just specialize in maintenance. So they send us to all these schools. So I spent about, 5 years in schools, maybe 6, and then I email people. That was the remainder of my career.
To email people?
Yeah, I just email people. People are like, "What'd you do in the Army?" I just email people, because as you go up in rank, it gets all logistics and management, and so yeah. I mean, I started out running wreckers, and I've been in combat engineers, infantry units. That's the good thing about maintenance. It's never the same, because you move to a different unit every 2 or 3 years, and it's a whole different mission. So I found that interesting.
Wow. And so 86, you must have been like, that must have been your right out of high school, I imagine.
Yeah, I was 12.
Yeah. He lied about his age to get in there.
Yeah, I had a good beard, so they let me in.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's, I'm seeing quite a few YouTubers in this same type of, rural YouTubers, a lot of them with military experience, military background. So
I had a great time with it. I mean, it was. I mean, the only reason I went in, I grew up on a farm, and then in the 80s, the bottom fell out of farming, so it was kind of a go in the military or starve. And I like to eat, so that's kind of. And I went in for a 4-year degree. That's what I did. I was going to go in for 4 years and get me enough money for college, and go that way. I ended up going to college in the Army, and made a career out of it. Actually, it really fit me well.
That's fantastic. That's really great. And clearly they were lucky to have you. I mean, if you grew up on a farm, I'm sure you had great work ethic.
Yeah, the Army standard is really not that high. I mean, obviously.
It's all a myth, I guess, huh?
That's the Marine Corps. A few good men. The Army's like, hey, just come on.
Everybody's welcome. Nice.
Oh god.
No, it was a good career. I mean, I got to see things and go around the world and do things I never dreamed would be possible.
That's awesome.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you so much.
I'm not saying all that for that.
No.
I appreciate everybody. Somebody said, I get that a lot, where people go, well, I didn't go in the military, and I really wished I had. And I'm like, look, it takes like 25 people working to pay for one military career. It takes everybody. Somebody's got to stay home and work and keep the country going while somebody else is protecting it. So it takes everybody to make it work.
Yeah. No, and I have tremendous respect, because my father was in the Army. I had a great uncle who was in World War I. My wife was in the Air Force before I met her, but that was her early career. I was never interested in military. I didn't think it would suit me right, but I have so much respect because other people do that. That there are people like me who it just didn't seem like it was going to be the right thing for me. So I'm glad that people like you step up. I remember I was actually in high school in 86. I graduated high school in 86, and I still remember the ad campaign for one of the military branches, and the slogan was, "We do more by 6 a.m. than most people do all day."
Yeah, I remember that.
And I thought, as at that time, a 17-year-old kid, like 6 a.m. Like, I don't want to do more by 6 a.m. Like, if they would have said, we sleep till noon and eat pizza for breakfast, I'd have been like, sign me up.
Hey, let's do this.
But the 6 a.m. slogan was like, I don't think so.
They changed that shortly after to be all you can be.
Well,
probably a good idea.
Better.
Probably increased
their quotas, and so, hey, we got to change this because
kids aren't waking up at 6 a.m. They're afraid of it these days.
And I don't say it corrupt me, but it sure changed my life, because to this day, I still, like 5 a.m. I'm awake.
Yeah.
And it's ingrained in me. I can't turn it off.
And it's not a bad thing, you know. It's probably a good.
I get more done by 6 a.m. than most people do all day.
See that? And I'm eating pizza for breakfast at noon, so you know what works for everybody.
Like teamwork,
right?
Hey, M and J, or M plus J equals A, doing stuff, has a shipping container. And I don't mean to change the topic here, but they just put some vents in their shipping container, because I did the same thing, and they're also from Minnesota. And I just want to point out, I put like tiny little 2-inch vents, probably, I can't remember how many I put in. It feels like 14 or 16 little vents on the top of the container, just to prevent condensation. Well, I was out there a week ago, actually, less than a week ago. I was up north, and because it was warm outside and there was still a little bit of snow on top of the shipping container, the inside of the shipping container had a little bit of condensation, but it wasn't even enough to drip down on the floor. It was drying, but it was because of the snow. But I just think shipping containers are just a great way to store stuff. So many people are using them for tractors because they fit perfect. They're waterproof, they're rodent proof, but you got to vent them a little bit to prevent condensation. So, any of you guys use shipping containers?
No, but yours looks like a tight fit on your videos. When you get that tractor in there, it's
going
to be a perfect driver.
It could not be tighter. I don't know if I've ever shown you, but I actually, I have the quick attach loader unhooked as I drive in, and then I take the bucket off, and then I back up, and then I go back forward with the loader over top of the bucket to make everything fit. And I've got 2 inches on top and a half an inch in the back with the backhoe on, and a 20-foot shipping container. Fits great though. Does the job.
Awesome. Hey, I just saw somebody jump on here. That Fix-It guy. He's giving us a nice compliment about our live stream. I just found this channel the other day through the Stony Ridge Farmer live stream, and they were chatting about that Fix-It guy. He's got a great channel going on over there too, and not tractor related, but you know, he's kind of a handyman, and I think also military career, if I'm not mistaken. But he does all kind of DIY projects and helps people out. From what I understand, helps people personally. Like if you reach out to him with a project or a problem, he tries to help you out with it. So, you know, a lot of us are hands-on and fix things ourselves. So it's a great channel. So I'm going to encourage folks to jump over there and check out that Fix-It guy and see what he's got going on. So thank you for being here. He had a live stream going on tonight earlier, and I jumped on there. And he ended his, and I jumped over here and started this one. So don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but that's a good channel too. I'm always amazed that you can find channels that you never heard of before, and some of them are really big channels. You know, I've shared, I can't think of a channel now off the top of my head, but I've asked somebody, "Oh, have you seen this channel? They have like 1 million subscribers," and they'll be like, "No, I never saw that one." Like, there's so many things that we stumble across, and they've obviously been out there a long time. I just think that's pretty interesting.
YouTube, you know, there's no competition. I always say that when some people ask me like, well, how do you start a YouTube channel? Or, you know, there is no competition. And I like that about our community, where we can help each other, because there's literally billions of people watching. And so I don't have to compete against anybody. I don't have to feel like somebody's trying to, you know, it's not like that. It's a very humble community and a very helpful community. I've never been turned down for help in the YouTube world. If I call somebody and says, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
Right. And there's an audience for every topic.
Yeah, because I remember I had probably less than 100 subscribers, and Tony reached out to me, and we had a nice long conversation on the phone. And it was the first time that anybody from YouTube had ever talked to me and said, "Hey, you can do this. Here's kind of how you get started. Here's what you want to look for." So I really appreciated that. And I kind of, from that point on, he's absolutely right. This community has been so supportive, and everybody helps each other out. And, you know, I like the Facebook groups. We kind of share ideas and how things are going. So I really like the community.
You know, that's one of the main reasons why I started the channel, was just to give back, because YouTube had given so much to me, and just plumbing, electrical, car maintenance. You know, after becoming a homeowner, I quickly realized I need to learn how to do this stuff myself, and YouTube came to the rescue.
I still do it. I mean, to this day, if there's something new, listen. I had on my new sawmill. I guess it's not new anymore. Everybody cuts the backstops off, and I've not done that yet. I'll knock on the old wood there, but I've not done that yet. But because I watched all these YouTube videos of people making that mistake, and that's like, Ed, you put that where you bent your tractor, but you probably have saved thousands of people from doing that exact same thing.
Well, Chad for sure, right?
Yeah.
we know Chad learned from it, so that's true. I mean, that's very true. I obviously before I started my channel, I'd been watching and learning from people as well. So, absolutely. You guys know any? This is an interesting question from Margaret. You know any girls with tractors? Like any channels that are female run with?
What the Farm Girl?
Say it again.
I think What the Farm Girl has a tractor.
There's one called Laura Farms.
Nice. I know there are some female DIYers that do a great job. I can't think of the names right now, but some that I definitely enjoy watching, and it's nice again to see some diversity with that. But Margaret, you could buy a tractor and start a channel.
That's right.
Right? Nothing's stopping you.
Absolutely.
So
you don't need a tractor to start a channel either.
That's true. And we talked about this when John was on the live stream. John has a Kubota BX tractor. Tractors are not just for farms and big pieces of property. John has a relatively small piece of property there and helps his neighbors out. You don't need all that to get started.
My neighbors find plenty of projects for me to do for them. Like I said, I've dug holes in all their yards. It's great.
Isn't it funny how when you get a tractor, you find new friends?
You do. Yeah.
It's like winning the lottery. You find out who your friends are, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to my neighbor today at the mailbox. We were talking a little bit. He goes, "I owe you some money for plowing snow." I go, "No, you don't. You don't owe me a dime. I'm not charging anybody else." But I'm just happy to help. I'm happy to have some fun. So, yeah, I love tractor time. It's just fun to sit down and use the machine and be able to do more with the tractor than you can with your own hands, or with a shovel. It's just fun.
So K&H Tractor says he's got a real sawmill, a 52-inch circular saw with a 471 Detroit power unit. That's a monster. I don't know anything about that particular sawmill, but I know a Detroit 471. That's a monster of a sawmill.
K&H, I don't think I've seen that on your video yet. So if you have a video, I would love to see it. But he's got a lot of cool stuff on his channel. There's always something new coming up that I don't know about him yet. So it's fun to learn more and more about these YouTubers.
So does anybody else have a sawmill?
No.
I'd like to get one.
Yeah, they're very addictive. I'll warn you in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find myself like, if any spare time, I want to go to the sawmill.
I tried out the Alaska chainsaw mill attachment for a while, and it is so slow. I mean, but it'll cut you some boards. It just takes a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it has its place for getting way back in the woods and stuff where you can't get a bandsaw mill, but I mean, bandsaw, even the smallest bandsaw mill is going to be, relatively quick.
Well, and really, by the time you get a chainsaw that's really big enough to do any real work consistently, you're, right up there at a bandsaw.
Buy a mill.
Yep.
Hey, can you guys hear me now, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I was muted there. My AirPod died, so I'm hoping not to get feedback here. Let me know if you have any echo on your end.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds the same.
I had to switch over, and my mic muted. So where are we here? Yeah, you were talking about sawmills. My brother-in-law, who may be watching right now, back in the 80s, he had a sawmill when it seemed odd to have a sawmill. I didn't know that was even something you could own. But his, as I recall, had this giant rotary blade and had like a 6-cylinder GMC 6-cylinder engine on it or something, but it was kind of scary, you know. I mean, they all can be dangerous, but something about that 6-foot circular blade was pretty frightening to me.
Yeah.
So,
you got a rotary cutter?
Do I have a rotary cutter?
Yeah, it's about as dangerous.
Yeah, well, maybe so. And actually, you mean a bush hog, right? Like a real rotary? Yeah. I don't now. I've got a finish mower on the back of the B2601. I think I'd rather have a rotary cutter at this point. I've had them in the past, though. What's that?
I was just messing with you.
Yeah.
I think the rotary cutters, they're just, I mean, they're wonderful, but they're dangerous as well.
Yeah, a lot of fast moving spinning parts there for sure. So, you guys mind if I bring on another guest?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah,
Like
let's
anybody
go.
would say no. We're happy with
You should give us some clues to who it is.
Another Kubota guy and another past live stream guest coming back to the show to be with us.
Well, it must be. I bet it's Phil.
It's Jack.
It's Jack. Hey, Jack.
Jack's muted.
Beautiful beard.
What's up, guys?
There he is, Jack from the Mindful Homestead.
How's everything going?
Excellent.
Wow.
You know what, Jack? I want to tell you one reason I'm really glad that you joined us tonight. That's because the screen is now concentric. We've got.
You know what?
I hate
I was
I was
looking
gonna
at
say
it
the same
before, and I
thing.
was like, somebody's got to jump on because it's not working.
It wasn't right having an odd
Thanks
number
for
like
helping us
that on
out.
there. So, but thank
Well, I
Jack.
gotta go.
Tell us. Yeah, Jack. Do you know the folks here? We're all different channels going on, but
I
how
know
they're lined up
John.
in your
That's
screen.
it. If I'm being honest,
Be honest. Well, that's great.
and you, of course.
Oh, yeah. Well, now.
I am amazed at how many tractor YouTube channels there are now, or Tractor Homestead. It seemed like back when I got my tractor, it was Paul Short and John Ritter in the early days. His paver and dump trailer video, I think, was my entry level video for the Ritter bit will do.
That's funny. Yeah, I look back at that video sometimes and just laugh. I'm like, oh boy, my editing skills. And of course, that's where we all start out, though. We evolve and you learn new tricks and you get better. And you don't necessarily have to have a great camera. It's just know how to.
The tools are here now, which is amazing. You used to. I've shared that I have a background in video production, and back in the 1990s when I started my video company, which I have it now, but it's not. At the time, I had gone full time with video production and was doing a lot of video work. I had to spend like $20,000 to get a camera and essentially two VCRs to edit tapes together, and that wasn't. I couldn't make titles. I had to buy a $3,000 computer just to make titles alone. And now all the tools are in your phone. It's amazing. And I joke that the backup camera in my car is better quality than video I was able to put out in the 90s for $20,000. It's kind of crazy.
I remember the first real camera I had was I had a Sony P170, which was like the professional version of a VX1000. But then I had a Panasonic DVX100, and this puts that thing to shame.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So cool. Well, Jack, I'm happy for you to be here with these fine folks. As always, check out their channels. They all have great channels. Jack joined me. He was probably maybe my second or third live stream guest. I know, Jack, you came on late because you were boiling some maple. Is that what you're working on tonight?
Yeah, well, I had the day off today, and I figured it was time to get the second boil of the year in for maple sap. So I was just finishing it off on the stove.
How many gallons do you have raw? Do you know?
Oh, I mean, I've boiled through probably close to 40 gallons of sap right now, and we've ended up with maybe 10 5-ounce bottles, like hot sauce bottles, is what we put them in. So
I was going to ask if you had a gallon yet after all that.
No, I don't have a gallon yet. I'm
That's
working
amazing.
on it.
That is amazing. A lot of energy.
Hey, I got to show you. K&H Tractors just sent me a link to a video with his sawmill, and I got a frozen frame there. So that's
Nice.
that's what we're looking at. Do I get that? That's
We
just
see
pretty
it.
cool. So there you go. There you go, Ben.
That looks like
I'm gonna watch it later. Thank you very much.
That looks like the mill that my brother-in-law had, and that's scary stuff. But that's like Walton's material, right? Walton's Mountain had that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You guys ever run across the videos of like crazy Russian wood splitting machines? The guys
Oh, goodness, yeah. They're not afraid of anything now.
No.
Anything goes.
Here's another quick.
Tied up for no Toyota Corolla.
Nice. That is nice. Hey Tony, I know we kind of build this night as kind of tractor talk, and you said you were out working on a tractor today. Is that right?
Yeah, we went back out to we met a lady here in town that had a bunch of pine trees and that had cut down, but there wasn't enough for a company to come out and take them. She's like, "Do you want these?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." I mean, they're like old growth pine. So we went out there and got the pines, but it was very wet, and I really basically destroyed her yard moving those pine trees. So we went back out today with little Rufus TYM and a box blade and a tiller, and went through and cleared everything out and tilled the yard back up and smoothed it all out, and it was a good day.
Nice. So you were working on it. I thought you were like repairing a tractor. You're actually out doing tractor work.
You got the southern vernacular. Working on a tractor means you on top of it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Garrett knows what I'm talking about.
That's good to know.
When I moved out here, so I'm actually, I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, so I was a city boy. But when I moved out here, my coworkers did get me the Jeff Foxworthy Redneck Dictionary before I moved out here. So that's helped.
You're all set, man. You're ready.
I'm all set, yeah.
So if I'm out working on my truck, that's probably not a good thing, right? Like, get off the truck.
Yeah, it's all about perspective. I've heard that my entire life. Hey, I was working on tractor today.
What broke? Nothing.
Yeah, that's what you know. Yeah, it makes sense. It's kind of like we walked through a parking lot one time, and a car alarm went off, and I said the car alarm went off. The car alarm went off, and my daughter goes, "No, Daddy, the car alarm came on." How do you argue with that? You can't argue with that, really.
Nice. So you said the southern vernacular is I'm working on my tractor. So what was broken? Do you say I've been repairing my tractor?
Yeah, we can't repeat that.
Do you have a different word for working on your tractor if it's broken? Or it's the same thing?
Yeah, we can't say that on air.
Ah, gotcha. Appreciate that. I appreciate you filtering for us.
No, yeah, it's broke. That's it. It's broke.
K&H understands the language.
There you go. There's this little band of states that runs almost to the end of Arkansas that we all speak the same pretty much vernacular.
That's funny. That's good stuff. If I'd have been prepared, I probably could have had a good list of sayings to share. I saw a comment here. I can't find it again now. Looking through again. If you, Keeger wanted to see the drinking duck. Thanks for noticing that. I had this behind me last live stream, and nobody commented on the drinking bird. You guys familiar with this guy?
I've been wondering what that thing was. I keep watching it.
Yeah, I'll see the first thing off.
Have any of you guys seen the drinking bird before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. I see you.
No,
I've seen one before. I remember them as a kid.
Hold on.
Grab that for us. Let's take a closer look at the drinking bird.
Let's take a look at this. I remember these when I was a kid. And I happened to find them on, I guess it was Amazon this Christmas. So I bought a couple. And I remember going to the flea market when I was a kid and seeing these. I always wanted one, but I never got one. So I bought myself one. But there's an amazing science here to these drinking birds that you have to have the cup of water, and the head has to dip into the water. Now, his head is soaked right now with water. Okay. And the science is that I don't know what the chemical is inside here, but it has a very low boiling point. So the room temperature boils the liquid. Let me focus this thing. Boils the liquid, and the liquid goes up the tube, makes his head heavy, and when his head drips down, and then it comes back out. But the reason his head has to be wet is because of evaporation, and the liquid is drawn to the cooler area. So that's what keeps the cycle going. As long as his head is wet, he'll keep dunking and repeating like that.
That just has to be like perfect balance for that to happen. That's crazy.
Balance, but as you can see, it fills up. The little green rises to the top, and then when he gets so full and he can't take it anymore, his head just gets so full and he drops down.
I got a question for the group, though. So some guy was smart enough to know all that and goes, "Hey, I'm going to make a Duncan bird."
Right?
I mean, if
Well,
he'd have made rockets, we would have been.
Now I know at least 50 years. I better put him back because he's getting thirsty. It's got the same principle as like a mercury thermometer. The way the mercury rises from the heat, same kind of principle. So
I saw even as your finger was on the bottom of it, it was making the heat from your finger was making the fluid go up through.
Yeah, there's
almost boiling it.
There's little Christmas lamps that plug in. If you ever saw those, and they have a light, and in the Christmas lamp it has this liquid, and it's like boiling.
Yes.
I think it's the same stuff. But
I don't know if they make those anymore. That liquid's probably pretty toxic.
Maybe, unless it's the same as this.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen those lights in a long time.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
it is boiling as I go there.
So, Ed, I'm going to step out here and say me and you are probably the older ones in the group. Do you remember the lava lamps?
Oh, yeah.
I remember lava lamps.
Yeah, they made a little comeback, but I remember when they came out.
First invented.
I was telling a coworker just yesterday, speaking of older things, and he's 25 years younger than me or so. And I told him about the pet rock. You guys remember the pet rock?
Oh yeah, I do.
Tony would remember that. But
I remember that. That was
John's
a big thing.
I don't know, John, you're not sure about that?
I don't know. I got a weather rock outside. It's more accurate than the weather guy.
That's right. No, the pet rock was in the 70s, and I mean this was a huge advertising campaign. You could buy this pet rock in a little box, and everybody wanted a pet rock in the 70s. And this guy, he marketed rocks, and it was
wow.
That's the look I got from my coworker. Like, what? People would buy a rock?
Didn't they have? Well, I can't remember. Didn't they have like little faces drawn on or something, and it come in a box and it had a name or something? Your rock had a pet. Your pet rock had a name.
It may have. We were pretty poor. We didn't get. I know
John's
got a pet rock. We couldn't afford rocks.
I mean, we're still doing the same thing, just with more technology. Did anybody see the new Jeep Wagoneer reveal today? No, it has a setting on the screen inside the dashboard. Yeah. It's called relaxation mode with campfire. And on the screen of your Jeep is a campfire like a Yule log. Meanwhile, you're in this off-road Jeep that you really should just be in the woods having an actual campfire with.
Oh, boy.
Is that only when you're in park?
I would assume so. I don't know. It was two people perched over this beautiful cliff looking out into the wilderness, and they were both trained in on this campfire on their Jeep's screen.
Let me ask the folks out there if anybody ever had a pet rock or heard of the pet rock. If you did, just give me like 3 thumbs up in the comments there. But
I got a channel shout out we got to do here because this one's interesting. You guys will appreciate this. Hank Hamilton posted this on his Facebook group.
Oh boy!
Right?
Yes.
Now you probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. But this channel, and I got it right here. This is called. Let me see if I can line it up. It's called Caden's Outdoor Life. All right. Now, Tony, you'll appreciate this. This kid has a TYM tractor, so he's doing work on this. The kid's like 12 years old. All 14. Right. But he's doing great work with a box blade. He's got 246 subscribers. So anybody that's watching, help him out, show him a little love, go over to his channel, tell him that Ed sent you. Go ahead, tell him Ed sent you.
Tell him John sent you. That's all right.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, or tell him Hank sent you because we learned about him from Hank. So Hank Hamilton sent you. Caden's Outdoor Life. Please go check this kid out. Subscribe, and you know what? Just keep watching him. This kid's going to be something. I
did see that, and I subscribed as well. So
nice to see those young kids work.
Caden's dad is the owner of TYM Customs. They make a lot of custom parts for TYM. And
cool.
Yeah, I've been coaching Caden for about a month now.
Really?
You wait a minute. You know him personally. Okay, give us the backstory on this.
But no, because that was what was funny. Because Hank put that out. He goes, Tony, you gotta check this guy out. And I'm like, I got it.
Yeah. Oh,
listen. That kid is talented. I mean, he just gets it.
He does.
He does. Not only on the YouTube side, but on the the tractor side, he's just a natural.
He really is. He's got it down. He knows what's going on. He understands the physics and what the tractor is capable of, and that's hard. That's hard to teach. You just got to get on there and you got to learn it. So he's had a lot of experience on a machine for sure already.
That's so great, Tony. Are you close to him physically, or just through like the internet talking to him?
Whoa.
Yeah,
not you know what I mean, like proximity.
No, we're states away, but
okay.
I'm friends with his dad, and we got mutual friends. And I told Caden, I said, look, he asked me for some advice about channels, and I said, look, man, here's what you got to do. You got to make 50 videos. I gave him my outline of kind of titles and how titles and tags and all the basics of YouTube kind of work. I said, you go put the work in, do me 50 videos, and then I'll do a video with you. And that young man took the challenge.
Nice. Cool. That's what I was thinking of. A good collaboration video might be in the works.
Yeah.
Jack, I meant proximity.
No, Jack, you wasn't the only one. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds.
You just gotta watch what you say.
I'm telling you,
it's true. Especially with guys like Jack around, watching all the words.
Crusty bearded weirdos.
Anyway, there we go. We'll put it on screen though. Caden's Outdoor Life.
There we go.
Check it out.
Look at that, Dave. He's on it.
He's got Dave on his side. He's set now, right?
Yeah, Dave is going. He's probably seen it. Caden without the E in the middle though, just CAYDEN, I believe.
Oh yeah, you got an E in there.
Right. This young man's 14 years old, and if he maintains, and he will, because I can tell already he's got tremendous drive. He's got his dad's really, his dad's brought a good young man up, and I can only imagine where he's going to be at on YouTube in say 10 years.
Yeah, if he keeps it going, it's one of those things you got to commit to and keep it going.
Absolutely.
As long as you keep the ball rolling, got to get one
10
video
years
out,
and he'll still be a kid.
I know it. 10 years and I'll still be old.
He's 14 now, you say. So that's good. Good for him. Yeah. Good young man. Awesome.
I'll tell you what has made me feel young again and kind of inspired is watching the SpaceX launch and land these rockets. Have you guys seen this?
I love it.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I watch I try to watch all the lives.
It's amazing. Yeah, landing it on a floating ship, autonomous ship out in the ocean even. It's
in the
amazing.
Middle of the ocean. It's nuts. It is how I'm sure there's a little bit of math involved.
Just a little bit.
I'm glad I'm not involved at all. That's all I'm saying.
Good thing you're a physical education teacher, not a math teacher, right?
Right. Oh.
Hey, to the viewers out there, any more questions for these guys about tractors or their channels or anything? Apparently, we can talk about anything here. So,
nothing's off limits.
That's it.
Oh goodness!
I'm looking at
miss anything.
He has the same warped sense of humor as me. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You got one follower on your side there, Jack.
You don't have a hot dog cam. The Fix-It guy was looking for the hot dog cam this time, Ed. You're gonna have to bring that back.
I didn't want to overwhelm people tonight with too much entertainment.
So. that was fun though with Phil watching the hot dog.
I have to do it again or do something different.
Did you eat the hot dog? It looked like it was pretty good.
I actually took a bite out of it after I was all done that night. And it had like the very center of it was still a hot dog, but it had like an 1/8 inch thick skin of like leather. And so I don't think I think I bit into it. I could taste hot dog, but the rest was like, nah, I'm spitting this out. But I had to bite into it for sure.
This might be a Jersey guy thing. Have you ever been to Rutt's Hut in Clifton?
I have not.
Okay. There's a hot dog stand in Clifton, New Jersey. called Rutt's Hut, this tiny little shack. But you can order 3 types of hot dogs. They're all deep fried: Rippers, Wellers, or cremated. And a cremated is basically, they describe it as like beef jerky, but a hot dog.
Charcoal hot dog. Yeah, I like jerky. I don't know about hot dog though. Hot dog jerky. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. I drive all over the state, so I can
it's up in
maybe
Clifton.
GPS that one.
Jack, I didn't know. Where are you from? We all go.
So I live in New Hampshire now.
Okay.
Southwestern part of New Hampshire. But I grew up in the northwestern part of New Jersey out toward the Pennsylvania border.
Okay. All right. Cool. So it's a pretty broad picture here.
It is. It is. We've got, I mean, John's almost in Canada.
Getting closer. Yeah.
Getting closer.
Get some of the weather sometime.
And we've got all the way down to, I guess, all the way down to Alabama would be the furthest south.
Hey, Caden's got 4 more subscribers. Thank you guys for going over there, subscribing to his channel.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
There we go.
I hope he's watching this. It'd be awesome if he's watching it.
Well, that'd be cool. Or if he'll watch it later, even.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll make sure I send him a link.
If you're watching, Caden, reach out to me. Maybe we'll have you on.
I'm going to send him a little link. We're going to be here for a minute.
Sure, we can.
Yeah.
Yep. This is only a test. I'm doing this Thursday night. See how things are going. We're maintaining. My screen's showing me over 40 people, which has been about where we've been maintaining. I think that's pretty fun.
Wow. We're maintaining 40 people. That's surprising. Good for us, huh?
All right.
We're constantly dropping off and coming on.
We got a question. Tractor question.
Yeah.
Which
Can
from
you guys
whom?
give some comments on tires in regards to turf damage, R4, R14, or whatever?
I love the looks of those R14s. I'd like to have them, but I don't. I've got the R4s.
Right.
And if you guys have any input on those?
I want to try the VersaTurfs made by Carlisle. I think they would be a little bit better than the R14s, just by the looks of them. Just because the R14 seem to have a little bit more of an aggressive edge of the tread pattern, and when you're doing turns with the front wheels and stuff, I think that's where I tend to dig in when I'm in the yard.
John, can you show us a picture of those?
Give me a minute.
Do any of you guys have the R14s, which is a pretty new pattern?
No, I'm boring. I've got R4s with chains for the winter.
Yeah.
I have R4s and turf tires. I switch them in and out as needed.
Do you? Wow.
The
How's
turf
that work out for you?
The turf tires actually dig up the lawn a little bit more than you'd think, because our lawn, especially like in the spring here, is pretty soggy. So the R4s would actually keep me moving better than the turf tires. Once the turf tires get kind of clogged with mud, then they spin and create those ruts, whereas the R4, you keep moving. So I think that I'd like to try the R14s. I think it'd be a nice mix, or like John said, the VersaTrack tires, but if I had to choose in the mud, I always choose the R4.
Yeah, VersaTurf made by Carlisle. I think they'd be a little bit better than.
Now that looks like the R14 to me. Is that not? That looks really similar to the R14.
It's similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think either one of them would probably
be better. Do you have 2
than...
phones? Can you put them side by side?
You're really challenging me here, Ed.
If you're going to be my producer, John, I need you to
step
up. John, you hang on to those. I'll pull up the R14s.
All right, I got it.
We'll both put them up.
Perfect.
There we go. That's a great idea.
I could still get stuck, I'm sure, though, whatever tire I get in.
As long as you don't tip over, right?
Yeah, I've stopped doing that.
Oh, good. Oh, all right, here we go. All right, I got the VersaTurfs. You've got I don't know.
Difference.
You see that? There's a little bit of a difference. Now, you see what I mean about the more aggressive tread pattern on the side?
Yeah.
A little bit more even on the VersaTurfs. So I'd really like to try out these VersaTurfs, but it's just a matter of me going spending some money and getting them, I guess. But sure.
I can't see myself.
How big do they come? The VersaTurfs. I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, do they?
I'm not going to do any further research on the VersaTurfs tonight, Tony.
Come on,
on your own, Tony.
I really don't know.
You brought them up.
Tim, Tractor Time with Tim has the VersaTurfs on one of his tractors. I think it's the smaller John Deere.
What we really need to do is just all pool our subscriber numbers together and start reaching out to these companies as a group. And that way we get one set of tires, and then we all ship them to each other.
One set for
that would be a great idea. Yeah. This rotation.
The ultimate tire rotation, right?
There we go. The ultimate tire rotation. Love it.
That was clever. I just now got
very
it.
Clever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Looks like they get as big as 26-inch.
That's a pretty good sized tire.
That's not huge, but that's about as big as they get. So not bad.
What about this thought from Emery Thompson about small tractors not having dual side brakes? Do you mean individual? Does that mean individual right and left brakes?
Right.
Well, you guys can chime in, but my B2601 has individual right and left rear brakes, and I have never unlocked them to use them separately.
The mostly your subcompact, if they're I don't know of any subcompact that has left and right.
I don't either.
And then above subcompact, pretty much almost all, I'd say 80% have it. And then, the next horsepower up, say 30, they all have it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost a dying need for it anymore. It used to be for like going to the end of the row of a crop.
Right.
You lock up a brake, spin around on itself, and come back. And I mean, I guess garden work maybe.
Yeah.
Especially when you had that what's it called? Like the trike type tractor with a single wheel on the front, or the
tricycle.
Cut that thing and spin it around, right?
Yeah.
So I know John and Jack both have subcompact Kubota, so they do not have individual brakes. Is that right?
Garrett's got the same type.
Okay.
Yeah.
And mine has a single brake on the John Deere, but I do use the split brakes on the Ford 8N, not for the end of rows, but if you saw in some of our videos, if you get stuck a little bit plowing snow, you can kind of create your own posi-track by braking one side so the other side spins. It helps you get out of some situations where you would get stuck.
That makes sense for an older tractor. I mean, because the newer ones have diff locks. I don't know if do the subcompacts have diff lock?
Yes. Yep.
Mine does, yeah.
Yep. And that's something I've definitely used.
There's some controversy going on surrounding the BX diff lock, and there's some guys that have broken them, and I haven't had any issues with mine, but there's some guys that have taken them apart and claim they were super weak, and I can't really.
Stan's his name.
What's his name?
His name is Stan. I can't remember his last name. Something.
Yeah, it looks like he uses the heck out of it.
Well, he abuses it quite a bit, but he knows what he's doing. I think he's torn it apart a few times and putting it back together too.
Yeah.
So
I say the only time I used it is if I'm slipping a little bit and just step on the diff lock and get out of the mud. But I don't know how much more you could abuse it. But I guess you can.
Yeah, I don't need to use my diff lock too much. So once in a while, if I'm pushing something that I'm losing traction with, but
I bent my tractor, so I'm not going to give Stan a hard time.
Yeah.
The only time I've really used mine is if it's in 2-wheel drive and I just don't want to chunk it into 4 to get up like a small little dusty hill or something.
Sure. Yeah, I wish these compact tractors, these manufacturers would create a kit to provide you either with the dual HST pedal, forward and in reverse. I wish they would provide a kit that you can have the option where you want dual pedals, like similar to the John Deere has. And I think is the Mahindra the same way, and maybe the TYM. Is the TYM the same way as the John Deere, Tony?
Yeah, pretty much everybody other than Kubota.
Yeah, Kubota's the only one.
They're holding out.
We're holding up the whole show. So it'd be nice if Kubota made a kit to where they could adapt that same feature, because I think they gained some customers. Actually,
they'll never eat their pride though, probably, and give in.
Well, in all defense, I mean, maybe everybody else might need to go the other way because Kubota outsells everybody else.
That is true. I have no problem with my HST pedal. I like it. It works great for me. I've had
Kubotas. You just get used to it.
If I had the option, I'd stick with what I have, honestly. But
and for what it's worth, I mean, the day our BX was delivered, Jackie hopped up on that thing. She was like 9 months pregnant at the time, and was moving mulch around with it because it was that intuitive to step on the front one to go forward, back one to go back.
Made sense. Sure.
Yep.
That was my most recent video, which is a couple weeks ago. I kind of compared the treadle pedal to the John Deere Twin Touch.
I do say that, now that I have left and right, it's easier to work. You don't have to move your leg as much.
Yep.
So if you're doing a lot of loader work, forward, backwards, it is easier. I mean, But I think more than anything, if you have one, you just get used to what you have, and it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I've learned at least on the BX. I mean, with my feet, I have relatively large feet. I don't even move my foot anymore to go to the back pedal. I literally will just hook under the front.
Just ride it. And I get it. Yeah, I get it. When I get on a Kubota, I've got enough hours on it. I don't even think about it. It just works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tony, is the right and left pedal, is that universal on the other tractors? Like I know in the John Deere, the right pedal is reverse, the left pedal is forward. Is that universal for?
Well, I mean, I've been on a lot of them. It's pretty much every one I've owned has been that way.
So it must be.
Left is forward, right is reverse.
I think Bobcat might be different.
That would be really confusing, I think.
I'm not positive though.
The Bobcats are a Coyote, so I'm pretty sure they are the same. Could be wrong though.
I'm not sure.
Did you say Bobcat is Coyote?
Yeah, Bobcat Coyote Daydong makes the Coyote tractors, and then Coyote that's the Daydong tractor, and then they sell the version of the Coyote to Bobcat. Now, I have heard that they're going to at some point. Bobcat's going to start making their own brand. Their own manufacturing, but right now everything, as far as I know, is everything that they sell currently is a Daydong.
Oh, neat! They're a neat looking little tractor. I like the.
They're a good little tractor. They're solid.
Yeah.
There's not really any bad tractors on the market right now. I mean, it all boils down to you got dealer support.
That's true. You kind of can't go wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I see Keegan Timber here is asking me a question. Go to video Tractor Time with Tim did. Tractor Time with Tim did a comparison of the BX series and the John Deere 1025, and in the 1025 outlifted the BX by hundreds of pounds actually. And has it affected my tractor work, or have any regrets? I don't have any regrets because I've always been able to lift what I've been wanting, what I've needed to lift. But the other thing that I kind of like about it is that the Kubota has a little bit farther reach. So when I'm loading my dump trailer, I can reach to the center of it pretty easy. So there's pros and cons. The John Deere can lift more. The Kubota has a little bit more of a reach. And so it hasn't really changed. I don't have any regrets for sure.
We all get in. I don't mean to cut in, but we get in these. A lot of people get into these little camps. I'm a green. But Kubota makes a next size tractor up for a person who needs that next size up. It's like if you go get a TYM T224, well, guess what? My T264 will do more.
Mm-hmm.
But there's many cases where the T224 would be better fit.
And I think if you really get into the nitty gritty and you just start comparing numbers on paper, the Mahindra E-Max, their subcompact, that outlifts both the Kubota and the Deere.
Yeah.
So made by TYM.
There's always something else out there. I'll tell you, speaking of John about the reach, we used our BX to load a washing machine out of the back of our truck and had to go up 5 stairs to get out to where the front door was. And I'll tell you, it was awesome being able to put this washing machine in the bucket of the tractor and just reach out right over those steps and set it right on the deck.
Nice. Yep.
I try not to ever pick anything up anymore.
It's amazing. You think back to what you did before for an end loader, and it's like, why did I wait so long to get one?
That's true.
We were the front end loader.
You were lifting, Chad, I believe it was you. You were lifting those big totes out of the back of your truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an adventure. I was told by my wife after she saw the video, you're not doing that anymore.
You had me on the edge of my seat watching that one. I remember.
That's true. That's right.
I had that video with the boulders too, where I stuck a boulder in the bucket of my Kubota and literally could put 1 foot on the bucket, push down, and the whole back end of the tractor lifted up.
Oh, Lord, no.
Right. Yep.
I've never did anything like that.
Never, huh?
No, you never.
No, never.
No.
It's not on video.
People
Didn't happen.
don't realize if you don't have, and you're not going to get that load perfectly centered, but because of the pivot point of the axle, if your front wheels start popping up, it's your front axle is not stabilized. It's going to tip you right over.
Yeah, you can tip right over.
Yeah.
Right.
AK dad stuff. I guess he had the boys do all the work, and then once they moved out, he had to buy a tractor. So.
Good plan.
Hey, John, you recently installed Messick's mod. Oh, let me go back to that. I see a question for you about that. The 3-point sway bars, is that what they're called? The they look fantastic.
It is a fantastic product. It's going to save me a ton of time. I haven't really worked with it yet. I just did the video. We haven't had any snow to plow yet, so it'll be once I get the. Oh, look at Jack's got something there too. He's got the same thing. There you go, Jack. That'll be good. I'm looking forward to hooking my flail mower up.
I looked at real quickly. I can tell you they look awesome. Like they're built super well.
Yeah, that's the right idea. And that's the type of thing. Again, Kubota needs to send the tractors out the door with that option. Yep. It shouldn't even be an option. It should be standard.
Not just Kubota. That was one of my 5 complaints, and the 5 things I hate about my John Deere video is those turnbuckles on the back. I mean, I've bent several sets of them. The deck lifts off of the arm lift. So, if once those get bent and they don't go out the whole way and it doesn't lift that little bracket, it's hard to lift the mower deck. So that is a pain point for me on the tractor.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, did I mention that Neil's going to be joining us on the live stream the 22nd?
That's right.
So
hey, show us that page. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, I can't show you the page because I uploaded it to the wrong place. But come back here Monday the 22nd at 7 p.m. And I'm sure Neil will talk about that process of creating those pieces, because they really committed to it. You can see on their video they've made looks like hundreds of sets, but I think they're going to sell every one of them. I think it's a great idea. That was one of the things that kind of steered me toward the B2601 instead of the L series. I was looking at the L2501, which is a little bit bigger of a tractor than the B2601, but the L was more of a basic tractor. So I kind of got sold on some of the fancy stuff with the B2601. Like it has armrests and it has the adjustable links in the back, and it has some different things. It had the mid-mount PTO, which I found I really don't need. But I was kind of sold on some of those fancy options, So, but they don't. I think the L series doesn't even come with those. That's an option or an add-on.
Are you seeing this with Keegan Timber? I have to admit, I've done that. But not with the branches. My wife, I'm not really a big fan of heights, and so I was going to clean the gutters out, and I was like, I was going to put her. She's going to put me in the bucket, and I was going to clean the gutters out, and she's like, "No, you're terrified of heights, and I'm a better tractor operator," she said. And so that's how she got up in there. And I was really cool with that. I was very gentle though.
Yeah, you better be.
You better. I can say I have not done that, but my wife does run the tractor. She loves it. She's
super chat. Like it.
She always half jokes that she would like to mow golf courses when she retires. Like she just loves being on the tractor. Yes, Doug, super chat. That is awesome. Thank you so much for that.
What a guy. All right.
Ed, I was talking to Neil the other day. You mentioned he was going to sell all of them. He's already sold out.
He sold them out?
Yeah, he mentioned, he's like, if you're going to do a video on them, wait 3 weeks because we're sold out right now. We need another bag.
Wow.
Yeah, I asked him when I got mine. I said, "Hey, I got a video ready to go. You want me to publish it?" He goes, "Can you hold off 2 weeks?" And I said, "My wife's going to kill you because I've been working on this video all day long.
I want to get it out, right?
Watch the kids and stuff."
So if you want them, wait 2-3 weeks. They'll be back up on Messick's website.
Yeah, I think he was going to get another shipment next week.
Good for them, because
keep your eye on. Yeah. Keep your eye out for it. Yeah, they're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, they had. I mean, I know the picture he showed. They had so many sets of them. So
yeah,
they are worth it. They are worth it. I have the Mark Hodges version, but one thing I did notice when I did put my backhoe on and I took off the 3-point arms, it sure made those 3-point arms a lot heavier for this old man. I tell you what. At that one moment, trying to get those back on, I was missing the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
About that.
Garrett, have you ever left your 3-point arms on and all the way up when you put your backhoe on? Because it's possible.
Right. Not since I had the Hodge stabilizers.
Yeah, I don't think it would be possible right now with the new modification, but I'm going to try that sometime this summer. But
yeah, saw some guys doing that.
Yeah, I wondered how cumbersome and if it would get in the way or anything. So it'll give me something to do. New video coming out this summer.
Do you have a backhoe on yours, John?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it doesn't get used much, but I got it because it's one of those things. When you need it, you have it. You don't need to go and grab a shovel.
I don't have it, but I'd like it for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say I have major envy.
Yep. Hey, you guys with the BXs, there's a question here about break-in period. You guys have any advice for a chuck roast here? Chuck roast.
Have ballast.
Yep.
Shiny side up.
Yeah, and do that 50-hour maintenance. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, just follow your maintenance intervals. I mean, do your maintenance like you should.
Otherwise, just run it, right?
Run the snot out of it.
Buy a battery-powered grease gun for the loader.
Really? Do you have one?
Oh, I have the DeWalt.
Where is it?
It's the best thing I've ever bought.
I've got the lube shuttle. I've yet to make a video on it though. But
I made a video about the grease points on the B2601, and I had bought I had the pump type, and then I got the kind with the handle there, and it was still difficult. So I kind of think the battery operated might be a good way to go.
It really it becomes less of something you have to go do. I've got to go out and I've got to take some time today to go grease my loader, and more or less I'm going to use my loader today, but it's 10 hours. It's due for a grease. It takes 10 minutes max.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Now with break-in, I will say I read the manual on my B2601, and I swear it said not to run at full throttle for the first 50 hours or something. I'm like, that's impossible. How can you do that? So
I don't think my tractor's ever been at full throttle, to be honest with you. I don't think it has. I always run right around. It's hardly ever over PTO speed, maybe on the top end of it, but I've never jacked it up farther than
for
that.
mine, full throttle pretty much is PTO speed.
Is it?
In order to hit 540, I'm pretty much up as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
And the tractors have that PTO set at whatever RPM the gear ratio to the engine is.
Yeah.
I think as a new owner, expect there's going to be some leaks and just tighten up some of those fittings.
Yeah, definitely the hydraulic fittings. Whoever's putting those together is not tightening them up enough. So just keep an eye out for those, because I had a couple leak as well.
Yep. So no matter the brand, either when these tractors they come in crates, and then the loaders are installed later on. Yep. At a assembly plant, if you will. So I always tell people to, even though they're probably fine, check the torque on your loader mount bolts, because almost every tractor of every brand that I've ever had, at the 50-hour service, the loader mount bolts are loose.
Yeah.
And if you look on where the mount hits the frame, you'll see the paint's kind of scuffed because the mount's doing this ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I found when I did my 50-hour service, maybe even before that, I found a tremendous number of loose bolts on my tractor, mostly on the front end loader assembly. But, they were way loose. I was really surprised.
Yep.
So that's a good tip, too, to go around, tighten your bolts.
It's a grounding, gauging piece of equipment. It's always vibrating. It's always being, its whole life is abuse. So it's just part of owning a tractor. You gotta check the bolts.
Yeah.
And it's better to catch them when they're a little bit loose than to find a bolt laying on the floor under the tractor in the garage and try to figure out where did that come from.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like Garrett's been there.
When you change your hydraulic filter, tighten up the throttle control bolt that's right up in there. It's hard to get. There's videos. I've got a video on my channel for sluggish tractor. So save you a lot of frustration. I know some guys have had their throttle sticks on the BXs, come loose. I want to say the joystick for the backhoe. So some of the nuts, they have double nuts, and it seems like they back off.
Yeah, that's a very common problem. My daughter did a video how to fix that. I'll post
That
it
was
on
great.
LinkedIn. Did you see it?
Nice.
I got to repost that. I messed that up, but I'll figure it out.
Hey Ed, Mike, Mikey 0011's got one for you.
How come I don't see?
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
It's a little bit higher up. I
We'll
shouldn't have said that. That's mean.
I didn't even hear you because I'm looking for. What did you say, Mike?
Mikey
929.
Mikey 0011.
About the front end loader?
Yeah.
About tweaking the loader? Yeah. Well, for me, it was obvious. You know, the bucket was 4 inches higher on one side. So
I'm sorry, man. Is that too soon?
not at all. Yep, it's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. So, what do you think John's doing?
Hey, Ed, do you have any idea?
I have to get going here myself. Should we all disappear when John comes back?
That'd be hilarious.
Let's all be gone. Tony's gone.
How is the BX? Has anyone seen the LX in person yet?
Yes. Yeah, I seen it at the Farm Machinery Show when it came out last year. It's a nice machine. The fact that it has air conditioner and that little platform, I think, is a winner by itself all along. I mean, it's kind of in between the B and the
big
L.
B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a nice machine. It's well appointed. You can get the one thing I thought was pretty neat is that you can get the front end loader that's standard, or you can get a self-leveling loader for like people that are going to be using it in nurseries and moving pallets a lot. That's a nice feature.
Yeah, GP Outdoors. He sold his B2601 and got the LX 2610, and looks like it's working out great for him, especially with all the snow up there, having the cab with the heater. And I don't know if he had it for a summer season yet, but air conditioning would be pretty nice too.
I talked with him the other day, and he was telling me that the black flies are terrible in summer up there. It's just, there's a season that it's unbearable, and he's like, he just can't, the cab is the only way to go with air conditioner. Have
you seen his videos where the black flies are out?
Yeah.
He's got like netting all over him. And he's working with if you're like, you look at his property and like you feel jealous. It's so beautiful. And then I see this. He's got to wear this. It's almost like a bee suit, but it's just netting. Right. And that's got to be terrible to deal with. I mean, we have mosquitoes here and sometimes some greenhead flies that are pretty nasty. But I mean, he's like being attacked by these black flies. Yeah. It's amazing. So
they think DEET's like icing on a cake.
Exactly. I saw a question here.
I didn't pee. I had to go tuck my kids in. They're sleeping.
They didn't join us tonight. When you were on, John, they came in and said hi to everybody.
They were watching a Disney Plus something. I don't know what they were watching.
Yeah. So. John Cruiser has an L2610. That's nice.
John, I want to say this. I wasn't going to participate in this, but everybody was going to told me to click off the screen when you came back, so you were by yourself. And I just couldn't do that for everybody.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Thanks for doing the right thing.
That would have been funny, though.
That would have been hilarious.
I think we should have done it. I just didn't want to get up.
All right.
Let's see. I'm looking through comments again. You guys just talk amongst yourselves.
Well, how am I doing myself? Let's see.
Grapple brand. Now I have the Land Pride because I basically built it into the financing of my tractor. Sure. So I've got the 16-inch Land Pride grapple. It works fantastic for me. I know that people love EA attachments and the Wicked grapple. I see a lot of stuff on that one. It's definitely more aggressive, but I'm very happy with the Land Pride, the quality of that one. You guys have any input on grapples?
Let's talk about grapples.
Let's talk about grapples.
That's a pet peeve for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, not really a pet peeve, but it's just I see so many people make mistakes of getting a subcompact tractor and then putting a 400, 700-pound grapple on the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna get into subcompacts, the grapples are great. I mean, I'm all for it, but it needs to have a proper grapple for the weight. They got grapples out there now that are like 200 pounds, 195 pounds, 4 foot wide. That's the perfect grapple, because otherwise you're trading off your lifting capacity for the grapple itself. And I think sometimes I get a lot of comments from, and I guarantee you guys do too, from first-time tractor buyers. And, it's tempting to see the big, bulky, mean-looking grapple. I want that, but without understanding what you're giving up when you get that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if you're got too heavy of a grapple, that limits your lifting ability right away. And a grapple already can be 2, 3, 4, or 100 pounds or greater. I like the Artilian because it's modular. I can make it lighter if I want to, right? I can make it just under 200 pounds, I believe, close to it. So that works out good. And if I need more grappling power, more even grappling power, I can add the second grapple to it. So
yeah, that's what I like about the Artilian too. I mean, that center section that is the grapple on mine is 90 pounds, and the 2 side rakes are 40 pounds. So, that's not very much weight. You still have some capacity on our small tractors to do some lifting. And I love the storage. You can take the rakes and the grapple off and set them in the side of the garage. I can set them between the posts of my pole building, and they're not sticking way out like a full front end grapple would be if it weren't modular.
Well, I can put the whole system in the back of my truck, which is a flare side truck, a short box, and I got a tonneau cover on it. All fits. So, saves room.
Well, a good example, we got I guess what you call it, a root rake, the long-nosed grapple. Yeah. And then I got a clamshell top. And the clamshell type, the irony of it is I was having trouble picking a big log up with my big tractor, and it's got, I don't know, somewhere along the lines of about 2,500 pounds of lifting capacity. So I come back in behind it with the clamshell style grapple on my small tractor, and I'm able to pick the log up, because it keeps the load so much closer to the front of the tractor. It's lighter, and don't get me wrong, each grapple has its purpose, and that's why they make different ones. But I'm personally getting very, very attached to the clamshell style grapple that you can really pinpoint the pinch.
Yeah. Stay tuned to my channel. Something new might be coming.
Nice.
Well, way to tease us, man.
Out there.
Good teaser, John.
We're talking about clamshells and pinch points, and
I saw his eyes light up.
Something you've never seen before, guys.
We'll see. I will say what I find with my grapple, and it's not problematic, but because of the third function valve, the way it's designed, being an electronic servo type, you can't take the grapple and ease it in. It's either basically the valve is open or closed. And I noticed some of the videos with that Artilian. It seems like that one really closes fast. I don't know if that's the tractor that does that, the flow of the hydraulics, but mine's relatively slow, but it's one speed. The loader you can ease in and out. But
what kind of grapple do you have?
I've got the Land Pride grapple and the Land Pride third function valve on the Kubota. So
that should be adjustable. I believe in the diverter itself, you should be able to adjust that. Maybe I'm wrong, Tony. You probably know more about that than me. But
most of the diverter valves have if it's a diverter third function, it'll have a knob on top that you can adjust.
I've seen that knob. I have seen that. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with the speed of mine. But it's just that you can't, if you're like you were talking about pinpointing, picking something up, like you just have to kind of bring it in.
That's what I do,
little by little.
Yeah, I can control the speed of mine. I can go fast or slow.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Nice, excellent.
And that's with a diverter. I like that diverter. The diverter is the way to go with the grapple. Instead of a true third function, but I don't really understand how exactly a true third function works either, but I kind of do, but I don't know how it would work with the grapple.
I played with mine, and I found that when I'm using the third function, the loader won't do one of the other functions. So it's
right. So you have a
diverting it from that. So it's like I can't curl and close the grapple at the same time. Or there's one of the functions that it obviously takes it from, and you can't do that while you're doing the other.
My bucket curl is sacrificed with my third function.
Yeah. So I think Tony was going to say something about that. Is that right?
Yeah, not to get off into the technical deep end of it, but I'm going to get off in the technical deep end of it. All right. So if you go with an aftermarket third function valve, generally they don't. There's another plug. If you like an OEM hydraulic valve, there will be another plug that's added on the inside, and then it basically reroutes the fluid even through the third function valve. And if you go with aftermarket, you don't have that. So like on my small tractor, I have aftermarket third function. So when I push the button, I lose the curl function, even though I'm not having to move the handle over. So if I push my button, it opens and closes regardless. But if I push the button and pull the handle over, I lose third function. Well, on my bigger tractor, it has the OEM third function valve, and it has the little piece in there, the little plunger in there. So all three functions work at the same time.
Okay.
Interesting.
So
this
are you able
60
to,
has the same one I have, the 0660.
Oh. All right, Tony, are you able to close your grapple and do the curl function at the same time?
Not with the 264 because it's aftermarket.
Yeah.
But with the 474, the T474, because it's OEM and they have the little plunger you put in there, it reroutes the fluid, so it's 1, 2, 3, just keeps going.
Yep.
And it slows. You notice it's slower. If you run high RPMs, you find that little sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all three functions at the same time.
Yep.
Not very well though.
Tony, have you installed third functions yourself?
Yes,
That's a question we have here. How mechanical does a person have to be to install a third function?
OEM, nothing. I mean, you can literally most OEM tractor kits, they literally bolt on within an hour or two. All the wiring harness, and most every new tractor now that's on the market comes, I would say, 25. I don't want to say subcompact. I'm not sure on that, but like your next size up from a subcompact, your smallest utilities, they'll come pre-wired with third function. A lot of times, like I'm speaking mostly of TYM now because I'm really familiar with them. They come standard with the third function wires built in. So you literally just plug and play. You can put a third function valve on in an hour. So
interesting. Good to know. Mine was done by the dealer. Again, I bought this thing brand new, first brand new tractor I've ever owned. So I had the dealer install that and bought some of the implements and attachments because I just built it all into the 0% financing for 5 years.
I know we can see this in the video all the time. I'm going to ask you guys this question, and I've heard it in other people, but I know what I think. So you got first implements and first attachments. So the implements for the back, attachments for the front. Which is I know it's by location as well, but what's you guys' favorite attachment?
Thank you for asking that because that was on one of my last live streams. We were talking. I think I was talking by myself, and I was asking the viewers, attachment or implement, what is it? So I don't know that I had people looking up the definition for me and whatnot. I don't know. Some things just feel like they're an attachment, and others feel like they're an implement. It's just how I feel that day.
I don't think there's a hardened rule, but generally it's like anything that's an implement goes on your 3-point hitch. Anything that goes on the front loader is an attachment. However, there's implements that go on your front loader, or there's implement that goes on the attachment on the front loader. So if you go and put a post hole digger on your front loader, then you put an implement.
Now I consider my
wood
chipper an attachment.
What's that?
I consider my wood chipper an attachment.
You know what? That's okay.
It's an attachment.
You consider it whatever you want, man.
Whatever.
Well, like I said, that's how I feel that day. Like my so wait, though, say it again. What goes on the front? Implement or attachment, Tony?
Attachment.
Attachment on the front.
Attachment on the front,
on the back.
implement on the back.
Right.
And it's so interchanged nowadays, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Fair enough. We may not ever get the answer to that.
No.
I'll ask Tractor Mike when he's on the 29th.
Probably easier to answer the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Whatever Tractor Mike says, that's what I'm going with.
Mike,
there you go.
I mean, if he has a channel called Ask Tractor Mike, then I'm going to ask
We're
Tractor
going to
Mike.
ask him.
And for the viewers, make sure you come back on March 29th at 7 p.m. Monday, and we'll have Tractor Mike on here.
I met him at the National Farm Machinery Show. I guess it was last year. Yeah, let's say I had one last year. He is a really nice guy. I mean, he's just a genuinely nice guy.
Seems to be, and wealth of knowledge. Really knows a lot about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to chatting with Mike. I was happy that he agreed to come on here and talk. So that's going to be fun. So, hey, we're going to wrap up here in just a minute. You guys have anything exciting coming up on any of your channels that you want to share? I know John said stay tuned, so don't give anything away, John. But any plans for this summer? Any projects you got going on? I'll start out. I'm going to share that I've got a project I hope to be sharing on the channel. We've got a stream in front of our house, and the driveway runs across the stream. My father built the house in 1958, poured concrete, has a culvert in the middle, or I guess that's what that's called, the pipe under the driveway. Mm-hmm. And over the past 60 plus years, it started to come apart. And I'm hoping to dig the driveway out with my compact tractor, drill through the concrete and put rebar, and kind of keep that from spreading apart any further and coming apart. But it's a pretty big project, and I'm hoping that works out. But I hope to feature that on the channel. But that's a big project. Any of you guys have summer projects in mind that you're excited about?
We're on the waiting list for a couple exciting things to come to the house here, probably April or May. So stay tuned for that. And then if you've watched the channel, we ran out of firewood this winter for the first time ever and had to buy firewood, which is unheard of when you've got Pennsylvania hardwood acres right here in my backyard. But so this year we need to do a lot better planning for next winter. The land behind us was actually timbered over the last several weeks, so we'll have access to treetops and stuff. We'll be doing a lot of dragging logs and chipping up limbs and cutting firewood and splitting firewood. So lots of stuff this summer and being prepared for next winter.
Nice. Anybody else?
We've got a big driveway project, 900 feet or so of gravel and dirt driveway that we are completely redoing with the Mighty BX. So that's kind of the biggest thing. And then there may be a new tractor, which we discussed a little bit on the last live stream.
That's right. I know you're window shopping at this point, right?
Twisted Jackie's arm hard enough. Good job.
I was still, when we started talking to LX, and I saw a few names in the chat that I'm going to be asking, hey, what do you think of your LX?
Something with the cab?
Maybe. I don't know if I'm that soft yet. I don't need air.
Don't be ashamed, man. Just do it.
Yeah.
Run it.
That'd be fun. 900
something
feet.
Where I can't step on the loader and lift up the back wheels is.
That's true.
There you
Get
go.
your ballast on the back. So
Most of the dealers I've been to lately still don't have tractors. There's still a shortage, I think. A lot of people, I don't know if they're spending stimulus money or just were home enough last year that they want a tractor, and it seems like that shortage is still continuing.
Yep.
I think production is down too.
Yeah, I can say, at least through what I've experienced at work, selling 3-point implements and things like that, there's major steel shortages. Even if the stuff is made in America, a lot of the stuff that's cut and fabbed and welded here, they're using Chinese steel. And despite what you're hearing in the news, Chinese steel mills right now are just not running at full capacity. So that's where a lot of the issues coming in.
Hey, TYM Customs slipped in us. That's Caden's dad.
And Caden, I saw something from Caden too.
I didn't see that.
No, you did.
Yeah, good deal. I missed that.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Caden. I love y'all's
There's
channel.
Caden. Caden, I don't know if you were listening before.
Caden's
Your ears
also
were
live.
ringing.
Yeah.
Hey, Caden, you keep doing what you're doing. We're going to be following you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We're
bet.
rooting
Great
for
job.
you.
Hopefully we're going to send you over a few subscribers too. So you keep it up, buddy. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Caden, reach out to me sometime. Send me an email, and maybe we'll get you on the show sometime to talk about what you're doing with your channel there. I know Tony's helping you out, and hoping you're going to grow. But I think you're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
I do have an email address here. Contact mcgtv. At Gmail. I can read better than I can talk, apparently. Hey, sticker giveaway, huh? Let's talk about that a second. Before we wrap up, I'm clicking around like crazy here. Don't mind me. But I mentioned that I have a little bit of merchandise. I have these stickers. On my last live stream, I gave away some stickers to one lucky winner. Let's focus those in there. Nice vinyl stickers. They're nice, right?
They're nice.
All right. I want to give away a matching set of 3 of these stickers, but I need you guys to help me out with something to come up with an answer in the comments, and then I need you to pick who the winner is going to be. This is totally spontaneous, so I got no idea. What can we get people to put in the comments to choose a winner, whether you have a question about one of your channels, a question about anything else, anything. Remember, early on, someone commented that this was a room full of geniuses, so I'm counting on you to come up
That
with
was Emery.
something. Look at the looks on their faces. My gosh.
I was looking around.
like
It must be one of them guys.
It's like telling the class, you can relate, John, like we're going to have a pop quiz. And they're like, what?
I hate pop quizzes.
That music of that game show keeps playing in my head right now.
All right. If you can't think of a question, then we need to think of who in this chat will win these 3 vinyl stickers.
I might have a question. I mean, we're mostly Kubota folks here. What city is Kubota's U.S. factory in?
Wow. That's
There
a
we
good
go.
one.
That's a
Because
good
I don't know the answer to that. All right, there you go. From Jack.
Yeah.
First person to tell us which city the Kubota factory is in.
Factory, yep. Kubota's U.S. factory.
There's only one in America?
Where all the tractors are made, yes.
Okay.
I think there's one main one, the biggest one.
Yeah.
All right.
The biggest. We'll go with the biggest one.
Grapevine, Texas. Is that correct? From Hoosier Helpers?
Right?
It is not.
Headquarters in Japan. Keep them coming.
I
How
think I
fast
know
can
that.
folks Google the answer, right? That's okay if you
I
Google
know
it. Atlanta, GA.
No, I don't.
Another from Hoosier
So
Helpers.
somebody said the name of the town, and somebody said the state, but they're 2 separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope you know the answer, Jack, because I don't. I'm going to count on you.
I'm waiting to see it though.
John's going to have it up on screen before we know it.
Somebody gave the city with
Get
the
your phone
wrong
out, John.
name, and then somebody gave the state with the wrong. There we go. Emery got it.
There we go. Okay. I didn't think
Emery got
Gainesville,
it.
Texas.
Gainesville, Georgia.
sounded
Is that right? Gainesville, Georgia?
Georgia.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Congratulations, Emery. I'm going to mail these to you, but you're going to have to send me your mailing address. So
What
I'm
was your
going to
email again?
email again. Shoot me an email or log on to my Facebook page. You can message me on Facebook. I think Instagram too. But otherwise, shoot me an email at this email address, contactmcgtv@gmail.com. Tell me what you want. Tell me the answer to the question again, and I'll mail you these 3 stickers with a handwritten thank you note. How about that? All right, let's get back here. Comments are wrapping up. Let me get rid of this. All right, fellas, any final words before we wrap up? First of all, let me tell you how excited I am that the 5 of you joined me tonight. I think the viewers had a really great time. I sure had a great time. And I just want to thank you sincerely for jumping on because this was, I think, a lot of fun. Any final thoughts from?
I had a great time. I can't believe it always went by so fast.
Proud to be invited.
I've had people private message me saying you need to do this again, and I think that would be great. So let's all stay in contact with each other and make sure that, as we said early on, we help each other out and do what we can to help other YouTubers and viewers and do all that we can. Any final thoughts?
Hey, keep on
Thanks
tracking.
for having us on.
Keep on tractoring. That's right.
Keep on tractoring.
Well, tractoring.
I need a tagline. I don't have one.
Good.
Anyway,
One.
thank you guys so much. Thank you for the viewers. And come back Monday night to see who's my guest Monday night.
Hank Hamilton.
Hank Hamilton. Monday
How about-
night, 7 p.m. Eastern time,
How about
right here.
That
That's
cat,
right. How about you?
He may be 100,000 subscribers when he meets or gets to there next
That's right. He's right
right.
there, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
just so close.
Hey,
Well, before
tell
we
him
get
I'm
there-
not watching if he doesn't bring Gina.
go over.
Are you?
I know. He's got to
Yeah,
bring
I'm not
Gina.
even going to watch.
Everybody
Gina's
jump over
not
to
on, I'm
Hamiltonville
pulling out.
Farm and subscribe if you haven't yet. And then come see us Monday night at 7 Eastern time. All right, fellas. Thank you all. Have a great night. See you next time.